Hi everyone, it's Monica with Scrap Saturdays, and this is going to be a really quick video of what I was doing last night and early this morning. It has nothing to do with any themes. It's just a quick idea and maybe, you know, to show you what happens when you actually turn a junk journal into an album. It does have a lot of photos of family and friends and even some people that I don't know of. So I hope that I can, you know, skim through that really quickly. This was a cousin of ours who got married this year, and she gave us this teapot type, you know, the cup and teapot combination as our bonbonniere for her wedding shower. And this is the box that it came in, and I've gone ahead and decorated the lid on there, and on the inside I used the Once Upon a Time paper line that I've had sitting on my shelf forever. And when I did get the wedding shower gift, I actually knew in my head that this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a mini album to fit inside of this box and to give to her with all the pictures that I'd taken at the shower and of her wedding. So this is like a mini album junk journal type smash book tape adhesive style that I've been doing for a long time. And if you can see my surrounding desk area, this is just the end result of, you know, 5 more minutes. My kids are in the bathtub if you hear them in the background, but I just wanted to show you how fabulous it turned out. So the mini album fits inside here, and on the bottom I also covered it again with the Once Upon a Time. It's an 8x8 pad that I used, so I had a lot of leftover pieces, and this is what my album turned out to be. So basically I took the 8x8 piece of paper and I cut it down to make, I believe, and here I am with all my writing down of my sizes, I believe my pages turned out to 4 1/4 width by 5 1/2 height. I had to give some space for the binding, and the bind it all was the fastest way for me to bind this last night. So we're invited to their home for a Christmas open house today, type housewarming / birthday event. And this is what I call, you know, the best type of gift that you can give someone if you can make one, because no one else can do it, or no one else, you know, will buy this at the store. It's something that, you know, comes from your hand, let alone that everything in this junk journal is actually from her wedding. I took her wedding invitation and I cut it up. I used all the pieces. I ripped things apart. I took her this front cover here where you see Welcome to the Marriage uniting the couple. It's actually from the I forgot what you call it, programs that you give it out at church. So again, it's reusing that whole thing. And this ribbon, this purple ribbon that you see closing the mini album, was the ribbon that closed the box, that was the bonbonniere treat. And then this lighter purple version is also, that was wrapped around all the treats that she gave us. So the front cover is pretty basic. The back cover, I love it. It's one of my signature trademark photos that I take of the couple, or pardon me, the bride and the father coming in with her mom. And I just love it because this church is really beautiful, so the outside sun was shining and it just fits so appropriately. Again, I'm going to zip by inside really fast, stopping on a few pages just in respect to some of the people. But I did do the smash book type, you know, flap opening upon flap. And I used the remnant pieces of my leftover to cover the backside of the flaps of the pictures, or even the overlapping that I'll show you that happened. I cut down really small photographs, used the Tim Holtz Adage tickets, I think there are, or Ideology, they're still here on the counter. And I used my Ali Edwards stamps to stamp some sentiments. Again, in respect to everybody, there's a lot of flaps, a lot of things that I used. I cut up her shower invitation and used that as flaps. Again, here's that church program that I cut and distressed and put there. And I love the Once Upon a Time paper because it actually says there lived a beautiful princess, and so I put our cousin Teresa there. And this was her shower cake that I took a picture of, and that was at the bottom of her shower invitation. So it's all just like, you know, a smash book type, where I folded over the 8x8 piece of paper, hung a charm from there. And as you can see, this is the hangover that I'm talking about. So there is a picture on this side, and then when you flip it over, there's that hangover piece that I put some more pattern paper. This was something that we cut out from her Cricut cartridge, or my sister-in-law's Cricut cartridge, and she did this for Teresa. And she was a little teapot in coordination to what the Bomboniere gift was. And so I saved that and I hung it there. Again, I'm going really quickly only because, you know, these are not my family members and I don't want to disrespect anybody, so I hope you're getting the gist of it. Here, she's got her arm around her mom, and I use a stamp because I love you, Mom, and this page means a lot to me. I think it's beautiful. I hope that she finds room to journal. This is part of her program from the church, again, and I cut it up. I actually used Catherine from, I forgot now, the Scrap Beach. I actually used her technique of punching it afterwards, because it came to me afterwards that I wanted to use this paper, and then I cut little slits with my scissor and tucked it in there. So it just goes on and on and on, and I use the white part. As you can tell, it's not double-sided paper, so I didn't really, you know, fuss about it too much. I saved the pattern of the paper where I didn't want to cover it up. There was lots of glitter, lots of lace. Again, cutting up the names of the bridal party, tearing up the paper of her wedding invitation using tiny little pieces. This is actually a little piece of ribbon that's now stuck to the back side that came in one of her invitations, and I saved all that. That's the reception card, turned it into a flap. This part I really love. Again, I left some blank pages so that she can decide and determine, and maybe here you can get the gist of what I did. This is a full 8, and I cut down the bottom part and I made it into a flap, and that's how I fit tons of photos for the pages. Again, tearing some of her invitation. Here, this was actually the bottom part of her invitation where it held all the response cards in the envelopes. I cut it out, punched it through my Bind It All, and I put in some, you know, remnant knick-knack photographs that didn't make it through my cut. But that's me and my family just before her wedding, and I wrote her a little note, you know, to tell her that we had a blast. And then at the end, it's the thank you part of her church reception portion, and I just loved it, so I actually cut it out, tore it, put some eyelets on the back. It's so thick, but it's so beautiful. And again, I'm really sorry for going quickly, but it's into, you know, tremendous respect and love for my family and people who allow me to do, you know, my YouTube videos. I just don't have permission from everybody, but I did want to share it with you guys because the album turned out fabulous, and it reminds me of my Canada Day mini album that I made, the junk journal type. And then I'm so, again, loving this washi tape that sticks to it. Maybe I wouldn't have chosen this color per se, maybe a polka dot pattern, I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter, because you know what I say, use what you have, enjoy, you know, do it fast, do it quick. I started last night, if you believe it or not, because I just thought, oh, you know, what are we gonna do? We're gonna get them a bottle of wine, we're gonna do all that same, you know, bring them some biscuits and all that stuff. But this was always in my heart, because when I saw the box at the shower, I knew that this is what I wanted to make. And I mean, it means a lot to me to see it, and I hope that Teresa's reaction today is a good one, and I hope that it brings a smile to her face, because that's the end result. But so, you know, smash books or junk journals, as we call them, right? Mini junk albums, or whatever it is that you say. Save the stuff, use your memory pieces, find, you know, neat ways to stick them into the books, even if it's just leftover invitations. You know, what do we do with these beautiful invitations? We throw them out. Well, cut them up, and, you know, you could put a picture there, you could make it journaling, you could do whatever it is, because, you know, somebody took a lot of time to make them, or you paid a lot of money for them, or it's fabulous, amazing, you know, paper. It's actually good quality paper. So again, it's funny that I'm gonna say think outside the box, but the idea came to me with the box that held the teapot that I got as a gift of thank you. And now today, going back to her home where she started her new life, I'm giving it back with the memories that I took, my perspective on her wedding day, as a thank you to her for inviting me into her home, but also as a memory of, you know, don't forget how it all started. And I hope that this inspires you guys to make one too. So with all of your knickknacks that you save from weddings and fun events that you have and all those little trinkets and stuff, junk journals, they hold tons of pictures. I couldn't show you guys all of it, but I don't even know how many. There must be close to 100 photos in here. And cropping them and cutting them, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe it's a different perspective, just like my little peekaboo window at the back. You know, that's all I needed it. It was a 4x6 photo, but that small little square, you know, 1.5 inch by 2 inches tells a story better than a large photo could. Take care, guys. I'll be back with my December daily. I'm still here, and we'll be rocking this winter. Take care.